I think it's time to forgive Sean, Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy Combs. And I'm going to tell y'all why. So, Diddy's doing his time. He's been convicted of the lesser charges. Still got time to do. And my question to y'all is, should the culture forgive Diddy? Now, Diddy's done a lot of bad things. We all have. We may not have done bad things as to the extent of Diddy, but we've all made mistakes. We all done bad things in life. I know a lot of y'all on the internet perfect. Everything you do is perfect. I know you never done anything right. But in reality, we've done bad things. We did things that we needed forgiveness. And we had to forgive other people. So, this is a big if. If Diddy Combs comes out as a changed man, he's ready to move on with his life. He's right his wrongs. He wants to lead a positive path in life. Should the culture forgive him? That's something y'all think about, right? Y'all forgiving a lot of other people who have exploited the culture, shared racist things in the culture, and even done harm to people. So now Diddy, the question is whether he gets out in 2026, 27, or 28, he's going to have to rebuild his life and his reputation. Should Diddy, let's say he lives to 75, 20 years from now, should we be talking about what he did in 2014, 2012? All jokes aside, should we be getting into that with Diddy? No Diddy. Pause. Should we be talking about that? Or should we just say, from this path, we forgive him, we let it go? Should the culture let it go? Honestly, I think I'm gonna do a live about Diddy's alleged involvement with Tupac's death. I'm about to debunk that. It's gonna be debunked. But should the culture forgive this man? And should he move on? A lot of other people done wrong that's not of the culture, even to the culture, and they've been able to move on. But should that be like? I'm not talking about people that was involved directly in his situation, whether they were victims or not. That's up to y'all to decide. That's their own personal situation. I'm talking about the culture overall. So they say, hey, okay, he's gonna leave the path. The man have, regardless of how we feel about him, he's contributed a lot to music and hip hop and the culture. He contributed a lot of good stuff. He contributed a lot of bad stuff too. I'm not gonna front. But if he wants to come out and live his life, should he be forgiven? And that goes into forgiveness. Let me go into forgiveness, personal forgiveness. Some of y'all can't forgive yourself for things. I'm talking about personally, off the internet, personally. And some of y'all can't forgive people in your family, people from high school that you have issues with, exes, ex-wives, ex-husbands, former bosses, people in your community, parents, siblings, cousins, friends. So you hold on to that resentment, which is not good. So of course, when you speak, and I hear a lot of y'all speak, and I read what y'all say, it's vitriol. And that's not coming from your hate for Diddy, because you don't know Diddy. You don't know this celebrity. It has nothing to do with your life. What it is you haven't forgiven yourself, and you haven't forgiven anybody in your situation. And I think it's important to let go and forgive and move on with your life. Some people, and this happened to the best of us, me too included, we've been stuck in the past, and it affects your health, it affects your spirituality, your life. It has a lot of effects. Your attitude, it leads to depression. And I think it's just best to let go. And regardless, I've witnessed and I've seen programs where I saw one where a father forgave a young man. He was involved in the murder of his son. This young man was involved in a situation. It was a robbery, some, if I can remember. I might be paraphrasing that part. And the father forgave and embraced that man. Now, I'm not saying that's something I can do. I'm not at that level. But that is a high level of letting things go and forgiving and moving on with your life. That's a very, very high level. That's not normal. The normal person to do that. So some people, some things are way less than that, and people still holding on to them, mad at people. It's some people mad at people from 25 years ago. If you mad at somebody from high school and you've been out of school for 20 years, you got a lot of soul searching to do. I'm just being honest. So I think that's one of the big things that I see a lot with people. And I just wanted to go into that part because that's one of the reasons why we see all this online. Outside of front, and people like to get online in front. So the question I leave for y'all as I part out of this video: should the culture forgive Diddy and move on? That don't mean it shouldn't be protocols or his behavior is condoned. Because forgiving is not condoning behavior. Forgiving is letting go and moving on. Or do you just stay in 2014 or 13 or 19, whenever the man was, doing whatever he was doing allegedly? That's the question. So let me know in the comments